Boom. All right. So I want to make sure you also are able to, that you're also taking advantage of uh, the application on your devices, right? So making sure everyone has a device that they can use. As I give you instructions tonight, it's in your best interest to have two separate devices so you can be working a device and still be on Zoom. That'll make it easier for you to see what I have on my screen and also be on your device if possible. If not, everyone's not going to be in that position to do that, but if you can, great. That's a great way for you to be able to do it. But the most important thing is to be able to take some notes as we go through tonight. But I want to make sure that this is going to be a hands-on session, right? I'm not just going to talk at you and tell you to do stuff. I'm going to be doing some things, and I want to make sure you're able to do it as well, which is why we had these pre-sessions with each of you so you could actually do some of the stuff and prepare and be ready for the conversation. So first, let me just go over. I know I've talked, some of this will be repetition. Hold on one second. Let me see what's going on, because I have one person that's asking me and saying that they haven't received the link yet. We sent it to them again. Give me 1 second, folks. Sure what happened. One second. We always have a few little technical difficulties. You gotta love the tech. That is part of the process. All right. So, making sure everybody's able to get in. Give me 1 second to make sure everybody's able to get in. Okay. Well, while this person just texted me and said they're having a hard time getting in. Second person said it was requiring for them to have a passcode to get in. All right. So let's go through and let me make sure I give just this. Some of this will be a little repetitive because we've talked about this in our individual sessions, but I want to make sure I repeat this because I think it's important. So let's first of all understand this first piece. This technology is dated, meaning that it's not here and now. We're talking about ChatGPT. It's not current events. It starts 2021 and back. Right. So that's really important, meaning that September 2021 is where the information goes up to. Anything current beyond that, the technology is not going to be able to process, to give you information around that. So that's a really important piece to pay attention to, because a lot of people are going to ask it or try to ask things that are right now, here and now, and that's not going to work in your benefit because that's not the way it works. Okay, that's the first thing. Second of all, please understand that some of the information that it provides can be inaccurate. So don't assume that everything it says is accurate and is fact. Sometimes you need to fact check to make sure the information it provides you is factual. And then some of it may be biased, right? So it may say some bias, some things that are a little crazy sometimes. Understand it's AI, so it's not perfect and it's not human. So just kind of plan for and recognize that as well. So it's not all the responses it gives you won't be necessarily conscientious, all right, and mindful, right? So here's what we're talking about for this amazing technology. The goal that we're talking about is that this is going to help you to cut the amount of time that you spend doing things. This is about you now having a new personal assistant. And a lot of people don't understand that this is possible, but it really is. This is going to help you be more efficient and more effective and use your time on the things that you need to spend your time on. So you can now focus, take time away from other areas of what you spend time on, and now be able to spend time on what's most important. So we're going to start tonight. Part of what tonight's going to be about is helping to put you in the position, this is important, to make sure you're leveraging this the best way. Because what a lot of people will do is they're going to use this and put information in, and they're not going to actually give it the right prompts. Here's what I want you to understand. The right information gives you the right results. The wrong information will give you the wrong results. Now, don't get me wrong, you can ask it and still get information. It'll still provide you with answers and give you resources. But if you haven't done the back end, what we're going to do tonight, then you'll find that a lot of what you do actually won't be as fruitful and won't benefit you the same because you haven't done the groundwork. And the groundwork is the most important piece of the conversation. It's what most people won't do with ChatGPT, and it's also the reason why most people won't get the best benefit from ChatGPT. So tonight we're going to focus on the groundwork. We're going to focus on giving you some back end things to do so that you can actually then be in a better position for you to benefit. And that's the key. Tonight's focused on giving you what you need to have the resources so you actually are able now to be able to be in the best position to take full advantage. That's the key. And that's not something that you will take lightly, because it's going to be all in your best interest. And that's the key to pay attention to. So here's some things to be mindful of in regards to when you're putting prompts into this amazing technology. The first thing is this: you need to be specific. And that's part of why we're talking about what we're talking about tonight. You want to be as specific as possible to give information so that it's able to take what you're providing it to then give you the best results. All right. And that's why we're going to go into what we're talking about tonight and why tonight's topic is so important. It remembers what you said in that thread. So you're going to be able to create new chats or continue the same chat. So if you want to have it kind of continue a conversation and continue to take and pull from what you shared in the past, it'll learn you. The more that you talk to it, the more you communicate with it. So for those of you that have an iOS platform device that you're utilizing, which would be an iPad or an iPhone, you can actually just tap it with the mic and just talk to it. Everyone else, you need to type into it, whether it's on your computer or on your Android device, if you're online on Chrome or whatever it is, right? But understand that it'll get to know you based upon what you say. But here's the cool part. Let's say that you use the same thread and you're talking about the same thing and you're going through and kind of digging deeper and trying to kind of digest or work on something in particular. If you keep the same kind of common thread as far as thought process and kind of intention in what you're doing, then it will just learn from what you shared before and make what the responses to you even better. And if you're going to change topics and go to somewhere else, create a new chat. The history will keep your old chat there so you can go back to it, refer back to it, go back in there again and continue the conversation and dialogue and pull from what you've already been talking about from before. So it gets to know you better and pulls from what you've shared before, which to me is what makes it so remarkable. All right. That it's not just a matter of having to continue to ask the same thing over and over again and it not know what you're talking about. It knows what you're referring to from the past, which is really neat. All right. And I've said this before because I think this is kind of cool to kind of think about. AI is not going to replace jobs, to replace people. And that's the most important thing to pay attention to. So I want to make sure you understand. Hold on, just mute real quick. I had a little background noise to the recording. So I want to make sure you understand this because this is crucial, right? When you understand that this is going to be able, and this is the key piece, to kind of do some things that a lot of people are doing, you need to understand that then it's like with any other technology. Computers make things easier, so then it began to replace some jobs. But people that learn how to leverage computers were then able to make an entire field called IT, right? And IT is now a massive industry that continues to boom. We make great money in. So you're going to be able to leverage the technology of AI to now create new opportunities, new things. And that's the same it'll be for you in marketing. You'll be able to do things in a new way. It'll allow you to be able to be more efficient and effective in that new way because of being intentional. So let's take some time now tonight and let's talk about a couple of things that we're going to make sure everybody's able to take advantage of. So the first thing is, let me just make sure I mention this so everyone knows. Again, the ChatGPT that you're using right now is free, all right? But I want you to make sure you understand that there is a paid version that's available. I don't recommend that you use the paid version right now. That's not, in my opinion, the paid version is not something that's necessary for you at this point in time. You don't need, there's no point, in my opinion, depending on what you're doing, you probably don't need to pay for the paid version. You're going to be able, especially those that are beginning and just utilizing this, you'll be just fine with what you currently have access to, right? So that's going to be, just want to make sure everybody understands that. But there is an option where I think you pay like $20 a month additional to get access to something else, right? For you to be able now to kind of leverage and get, and it's going to improve the responses that it gives you. It's going to give you deeper dives and allow you to actually get more information. So that's what you're paying for. The accuracy. That ChatGPT 4 probably is going to be what's going to allow you to actually get access earlier to real-time information. So those are things to be cognizant of. But right now, for here and now, learn, understand, get, kind of cut your teeth on this version of it where it's free. I don't recommend paying for the upgrade until you're at a place where you need to do so. All right. That's going to be an important piece to just to be cognizant of. All right. Now, here's what I want us to do real quick. We're going to, as I said, I want to make sure that tonight we're going into some stuff. So I'm going to actually real quick, let's go ahead and start a new chat, and I'll come back to this chat I did earlier because we're going to come back to that. And here's what I want you to do. All right. I want you to, in your chat right now, and write this in your notes, right? This is really important. I help who to do what? Write this down. I help who to do what? Now, what do I mean by that? So right now, each of you have a business. The question is, who do you help and what do you help them to do? All right, that's the question you need to ask yourself. All right, and this is what's important. You need to know the answer to that question for you to be able to now move forward and leverage and make better choices and decisions. And that's part of what we're talking about when I say that I'm going to have you kind of do a deep dive tonight. You need to understand that you're doing that you have to figure out how am I, basically who am I helping and what am I helping them do? All right. And you're going to leverage and use this technology to help you do that. Right. So what I mean by that is that you're going to actually go ahead, take a moment before you even write it down and decide for yourself, who are you focused on helping? And what do you intend to help them with? Take a moment with that, because you need to know who you're helping and what you're helping them with. And once you know what that is, now you can begin a chat saying, help me create a statement for myself around just that language. I help who to do what? Because this is going to help you create your business plan. A part of what we're doing tonight is really helping you to begin to work on creating a business plan, helping you to be able now to think about and actually make decisions around what you're doing and be intentional about how you share information, whether it's social media, whether it's articles, whether it's newsletters, whether it's emails, whether it's text messages, however you're communicating with the general public. Well, who are you focused on? Who's your target? All right. So write that down. It's the first thing I want you to write down. Again, I'm not going to ask you to put anything in the chat yet. Write that down. So I help who to do what? Next thing. Here's the key. Once you know who that person is that you're serving, now we're going to ask ChatGPT, what are the pain points of these people that I want to serve? What are their problems and their challenges of this target audience? So let's start. First of all, I'm going to give you just a couple quick minutes. Who do you want to help and what do you want to help them with? So I help who to do what? And then once you've done that and you know that in your mind, now we can go into ChatGPT and now we can leverage and use this to help you go ahead and go back to your business plan. Now, what you see right now is what this looks like on my device. And so those of you that have computers, you're going to see the same thing. And you're going to see the new chat up here where you can start a new chat. But down here in the messaging section where it says send a message, this is where you're going to actually type in what you're going to type in, right? So I'm going to go back to that. I just want to show you all the main page before I go back to this. But as you can see, I actually have already pulled up what are the key components to a business plan. I've already pulled this up for folks to, so you can kind of see. So we're going to come back to this later on. But again, take a moment, write down who you're helping. What do you want to help them to do? Oh, I'm not sure why I just did that. I help who to do what? I help who to do what? Take a quick moment.
So are we putting it in there or are we just writing it down first?
Write it down first. Write this down first because you want to write it down first.
Okay, thank you. Hi, Vash.
Hey, what's up, fam? How you doing? Once you've written it down, then we're going to actually put it in here.
Cecil, can I do, because you know I'm only on one device.
Yep. So all you got to do is just
So
take me off screen and go to your ChatGPT on your browser.
okay.
Uh-huh.
Diesel, can you repeat for me again what it is exactly we're doing at this moment?
So right now you're writing down, I help who to do what.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I help whoever the people is, like I'm writing it here so folks can see in mine. I help entrepreneurs to make their dreams their reality through multiple streams of income in the health and wellness as well as financial literacy industry.
And then I think you're gonna put it later there.
So once you know who you help to do what, then you're gonna type it in here. So I give you all example. Can everyone see my example I've typed in so far? I help entrepreneur-minded individuals to make their dreams their reality through multiple streams of income in the health and wellness as well as financial literacy industries. And then now I'm going to ask the follow-up question. So once, and again, I want you all to think about what it is for yourselves. And now here's the follow-up question. Follow-up question is, what are the pain points problems and challenges of this target audience? So now you understand why. Now you understand why I need to know who I'm serving. You need to know who you're serving. You need to know, because here's the key. The biggest mistake that people make is that they just throw a scatter shot, right? You just shoot at everybody. Your focus is everyone. I want to help everybody. You need to focus. Who are you focused on serving? And again, the more specific you get, the better. So for right now, I'm keeping it simple because I'm going to actually give you all some more work to do later on that will take time for you to go become even more specific. Can everybody see what I have there so far? Make sure everybody can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
All right. Is there anybody that can't see it? If anybody can't see it, please let me know. So anybody that can't see it, please let me know if you can't see it. And is there anybody having a hard time thinking
Diesel,
about?
we're still having technical difficulties.
I'm having a hard time getting into, they're telling me, did I forget my password? I know what I wrote.
So we have, so I think it's like you're having the same problem that Margaret and Diana having with passwords.
Yeah.
Okay, what am I
Let's see.
supposed to see? It says generate response. Is that what I'm looking at?
No, see, it says, I help entrepreneur minded right beneath that. Do you see that?
Generate response, something individuals to make their dreams.
Yes, that's right. I help entrepreneur minded individuals to make their dreams their reality. Do you see that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What?
So now what do I do?
Right. So what I want you to do for yourself is for your demographic that you're looking for. So whoever you want to help. So you help. For you, it might be that you help. I don't know. I'm gonna make a random example. I help retirees to solidify their retirement by having multiple streams of income with financial literacy. I'm just using that as an example. Whatever it might be that you're focused on. Who's the demographic that you're focused on helping? That's what we're typing in here. And once you write that demographic in, like this sentence is, then you're going to write, what are the pain points, problems, and challenges of this target audience? So once you decide who you help and what you help them do, then what are the pain points, problems, and challenges of this target audience? All right. And what I want to make sure we're doing, because we're starting off this, because I want to make sure what you're doing right now is that everyone knows who you're focused on serving. This is going to be the most important piece. Everything else that we do after this is going to build on that. It's going to build on that. So everyone's taking a moment right now to focus on who are you serving? Who are you serving? Who are you serving? What do you and how are you serving them? Who are you serving and how are you serving them? It's a really important piece.
No, that's right.
I help who to do what? I help who to do what? Simple. It's use that same exact. And here's the cool part. I could put in here. I could take right here and actually ask ChatGPT. I could say, I help whatever. Please put this in that format for me, or make it better, or improve it. It would actually improve the sentence for me. But for right now, what I'm doing is I'm moving past that to get us to the point of this next piece, because I want to make sure everybody's done it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit send the message from mine so you all can see the responses.
So, Coach Cecil,
Yes, ma'am.
can I ask a question? So the chat, why is it called chat? Who am I chatting with?
So you're chatting with AI, artificial intelligence. So ChatGPT is the artificial intelligence that you're talking to. So you're talking to this is you now being able to talk to this artificial. It's basically this technology that now has captured all this wealth of knowledge all the way up to 2021. There's all this information that's online, that's there, that it's now pulling from when you ask the question. So, for example, when I asked that question, right? The target audience you mentioned, comprising entrepreneur-minded individuals interested in health and wellness and financial literacy industries, may face several pain points, problems, and challenges. Here are some common ones. Lack of knowledge and expertise. Many aspiring entrepreneurs in these industries may have limited knowledge or experience in starting and managing a business. They may lack understanding of marketing strategies, financial management, legal requirements, making it challenging to navigate the complexities of entrepreneurship, right? So literally it's going to go through, and as you can see, it's given me 8 different things that I'm able now to be conscientious of in regards to my, in regards to that demographic, right? So what I want you to understand is that what you're going to do is you need to now take, and again, and what I intentionally, here's the key, I intentionally made it a very vague statement, right? Because
Not so vague. That's vague for you.
Well, it's
go
vague.
ahead.
It's vague because if you look at it, right, it's giving me limited resources and funding, market saturation and competition, building trust and credibility, balancing passion and profitability, regulatory compliance, right? It's very vague and it's not specific enough for my business. And I intentionally did that. I did on purpose to put the post there. Now, let me change it up and say, now I'm going to go back in here again, right? And I'm going to now specify further. Check this out, okay? Here's how now, again, here's why I want to make sure everybody gets this, because this is the part where I think most people don't understand about how ChatGPT, and that's why I'm kind of doing this and walking you through this so you can see this as you are creating this. I used an example that was kind of vague and wasn't very clear, right? So here we go. Now I'm going to change it and say, all right, hold on. And hopefully everyone can see what I'm typing.
Yes. I have one more elementary question.
Sure, Doko, keep going.
So,
Go ahead, Mom Donna, you're good. That's important.
because I'm really, I'm in a fog too. I
You're fine.
had
You ain't by
preached this
yourself.
morning, so I'm kind of a
You're
little
good.
bit lost.
You're good.
So we're doing this so that the artificial intelligence will give us direction on how, what, when, and where to market.
Everything. It'll give you everything. It'll answer, it'll provide you with it's so here's the cool part. It'll provide you with, and we'll talk about this a little further on, social media content. It'll provide you with articles. It'll provide you with a lot of, I know we didn't get a chance to have that initial conversation, so we first to talk that through.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all good. It's so it provides you with a lot of information and content for you to understand kind of what you're doing, because here's the key, right? A lot of us are doing network marketing and we're having a hard time doing it, right? So let me finish doing, and you'll see exactly where I'm going with this. Let me finish this and you see.
I like the examples you have on the left.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff here. That's the beauty of this, that y'all, it's crazy. I use this stuff so much, it's nuts. All right, so if you look at what I said specifically, I specifically want to work with those who are ages 30 to 65, females interested in diversifying their income in the CBD, telehealth, and financial literacy industries, looking for those who would be interested in network marketing specifically. What are the pain points and challenges of this target audience, right? So then now you see it now specifies and provides even further detail, right? So what I want each of you to understand now, see, before what it gave me was really vague. You see how the information, this was really kind of, it was like, I know when I first posted, y'all were like, well, that stuff is like, none of that is even applicable to me, right? But then when I added in additional information, now it shifted. Limited awareness and knowledge, regulatory and legal uncertainty, market saturation and competition, building a customer base, recruiting and team building, overcoming stigma and misconceptions, balancing multiple income streams, personal development, skill acquisition. Do you see how now it's shifted and now
Yes.
it's much more specific to who I'm talking to, right? So I did all that because here's what I want everyone to get and understand, and this is the most important piece of what we talk about tonight, period. This technology, it has a lot of information available that is utilizing, but it's only as good as what you put in it. So the questions that we ask are the biggest piece of the puzzle. That's going to be the most difficult piece for folks to wrap their minds around. And I wanted to start with this so you understand that as we go through this process and as you're leveraging and utilizing the technology, what you ask matters. And that's going to be the hardest part for us to because it's going to be a shift, right? It'll be one of those things where it's going to be, you type something into Google and you kind of go through and figure out, you hit multiple clicks, you go through this process. But this is different because what you ask and how you ask it changes everything. And so that's the reason why I'm having you start here, right? Because you need to know who you're targeting. You need to be very specific about who you're targeting, because once you understand who you're targeting, now your personal assistant can help you. Here's the funny part. Your personal assistant only knows what you tell. So even if you had a human that was working for you, that was the person that you were reaching out to, and you said, listen, I need you to write an article for me, they'd be like, about what? Right? But the more information you give to that person, the better they're able to kind of provide information. And that's the first piece that you've got to understand with this technology. And I'm specifically making sure everyone gets this first part. That's why I started where I started, because I need you to understand who you're serving, right? And how you intend to serve them is going to make all the difference in how you move forward using this technology. It's going to be everything. Who are you serving? Who are you focused on serving? And how do you intend to serve them? You got to know, because as you begin to provide that information, remember, this technology remembers who you are, remembers what you shared, remembers the content you add in. And so as you add that information, it's going to make all the difference in the world for you. All right, let me open it up before I go forward for any questions to make sure everybody understands what I was just talking about and why I did that little example that I did that took folks through so they were able to understand. Anybody need clarification and further understanding about what I just shared? Any questions at all? Let me get y'all
I
questions.
understand, but I still can't get in my chat. It's telling me it's an invalid email, which I know it's not.
Okay, we will.
So
unfortunately, I'll set some time aside this week and we'll get you up and running to make sure we'll come back to it. I know you had it up and running earlier, so we'll figure out how to get back in. All right, we'll get you back in.
Okay.
Get you back in.
All
I'm
right.
sorry that's not working. I'm sorry. All right. So let's go back now. I want to have each of you now again think about, what are you putting in this chat? What are you adding here to understand for the people that you're looking to target? Who are you looking to target, right? And now let me just show you what I'm talking about, right? So now that I've said what I've said, okay, there you go. I'm going to ask everyone to go ahead and type this into your chat. Now, remember, you may not have put all the things I've put in, all right? You may not have, I don't know how much information, if you've put anything in yet about who you're asking. I'm not sure if you've added any pain points in. I'm not sure if you've done any of that yet, right? But again, the more information you put in, the better the response is. So I'm going to say, taking all this into consideration, what are the best strategies for me as a network marketer to implement and get the best and fastest results? So you can, if y'all want to, oh, I'm not sure what happened. Oh, there you go. All right. So as a network marketer targeting the specific audience you described, here are some strategies you can implement to get the best and fastest results. Understand your audience, build relationships, provide value, leverage online marketing, offer training and support, collaborate with influencers, attend industry events, follow up and nurture leads, continuously learn and adapt, measure and track results. Listen, what I like about this is that it will provide to you and tell you what you need to do.
Mhm.
It'll give you answers and tell you. So it's not a matter of you just basically kind of not being sure of what I need to implement. It will give you like direct, specific, here's what you need to do. Here's how you do it. And here's the crazy part. I can continue the conversation, right? Same, again, continue the same conversation. Taking all of this into consideration. What are 10 social media posts that are, I'm going to do it first. Social media posts that I can post on IG and Facebook to attract my target audience. All right. And again, the more specific I am, educational tips, share a quick tip related to CBD, telehealth, and financial literacy that provides value and educates your audience. Product showcase, testimonial highlight, inspirational quote, live Q&A session, industry news or trend, behind the scenes, success tips, promote a webinar or workshop, lifestyle inspiration, right? And so what I like about this is that it'll give you examples, right? So for example, it says, here you go, share a quick tip on CBD, telehealth, whatever. Did you know that CBD has been shown to promote relaxation and reduce stress? Incorporating CBD into your wellness routine can help you find balance in your busy life. CBD benefits. It even puts a hashtag on there for me. So let's say I took those all the ones it's already given me, right? And then I add to that, and I now take it a step further, and I say, all right, great. This is fantastic. Let's make them funny. Please take these posts, make them funny, and add to each 10 popular hashtags. There you go. Education. Did you know that CBD can turn you into a human pretzel? Okay, literally, but it does promote relaxation and flexibility. Embrace your inner yogi and get your CBD fix today. Hashtag CBD yogi, hashtag bend and CBD. Now it didn't do all my 10 hashtags I asked, but as you can see, it even adds emojis, right? It even adds, so it even added a unicorn, right? So so what I love is that it will literally take, and then I can again go back to it and ask it to add additional hashtags for each of those, right? So what I want to do right now is take a pause, because I've kind of shown you some examples of what you can do and how you can take and build upon what we're talking about here, right? Because as you've noticed, as I've added additional information, what it's done is it's now provided me with resources to help me do what I do better. Okay, so here's what I want everyone to kind of think about for yourself. Again, it all starts with what you ask and what you put in. That's the most important piece that I want to make sure everybody gets, because it's going to be the biggest piece of what happens moving forward. So you need to know who, again, you're focused on and what you want to do to help them, right? Who you're targeting, whether you're targeting customers, whether you're targeting partners, who you're targeting matters. I use social media as an example, but listen, I can go back here and I can now take the same information and now focus on, well, what are some, what are some messages I can send out by text message to attract this demographic? What are some emails I can send out to attract this demographic? I can ask it all those different things. Why? Because I've now put information in here that allows the device, allows this technology now to pull from that information and leverage that information to help me now be in a better position to communicate and pull from it and build this literally a whole resource that's there. And everything that I have here can be copied. It's all tracked. I have it all available for me to be able to share. I can, as you can see right here, I can hit that share button, and that share button will allow me to share this whole chat to where I want it to share to, if I want to share to an email or whatever it might be. It's pretty crazy. All right. So let me take a pause, because what I want to make sure I do is I don't lose people in the process as we're going through, to make sure you understand, because I'm sharing a lot of information, but I wanted to make sure I started off, because the most important part of tonight is to give you an understanding of where you're going to start this week. And I'm going to give you 3 pieces of homework this week to take kind of what we've talked about for you to be able now to leverage and build on what we're doing here, so you can start implementing and utilizing this application in your here and now, right? In what you're doing in the now, right? So that's the most important piece. A lot of people are like, well, what the heck? How do I even leverage this thing? Well, I want to make sure I give you the tools to help you do that, so you can begin to implement it. This is, it's not perfect in any stretch of the imagination, but y'all, this allows you to really get access to a lot of information at the tip of your fingers or on your screen, to now allow you to start generating and utilizing this to help you build your business. It'll help you focus in. So if you want to take and do a deeper dive on, say, here are my interests, because let's say that some of you are like, listen, I don't know who I want to target. I have no idea. I don't know where to begin. Great. Go into ChatGPT, start a new chat. I'm interested in. And you can literally put what you're interested in and just type in there what you're interested in and talk about yourself. Then say to it, so who would you see would be the best target market for me? You could literally do that. If you're like, I don't know who I should be focused on, talk about who you are, share a bunch of pieces of information about your personality, who you are. I would even go so far as to put your age and all these different pieces, and then say, so don't give really personal information like your social security number, your phone number, right? Okay. Obviously, right? But put your information in there, and then ask it, who would you recommend that should be my target market? Who should I be focusing my efforts on? Who's the demographic that I need to build with? And it will then say to you and come back and say, great. So real quick, let's just use it as a test for some of you that are here right now, that maybe as you're on your devices right now, type it in. Type in some little pieces of information. I'll type a few of my information in, all right? And perfect example, I would include, you know, so I like to use social media, but maybe if you don't use social media, put that in there as well. I don't like to use social media, or I like to use, type it in there. Now, mind you, I just put a few thick pieces there. The more you put, the better, right? So you see what I put for mine? I'm a Black male, love music, love entrepreneurship, love to help people, yada, 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 love personal development, love to use social media, about all this stuff, right? I put that stuff there, y'all can see it. And then I said, who would you recommend as my target market as a network marketer, right? Young professionals, minority communities, creatives and artists, aspiring entrepreneurs, online communities. Y'all, I need you to understand, you just, and I didn't put much information in, you just got literally a personal assistant that will tell you what to do. Literally tell you what to do. All right, so let me take a minute and pause. All right, so let me open it up. Who has any questions? Raise your hands. Let me get some questions answered. I know we're coming to our time is winding down.
I have no question, but this is basically a roadmap to get you to your destination.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
Point by point. Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's going to give you a bunch of roadmaps based upon what you want. But here's the funny part. What we'll dig deeper into, and it's the last piece that I'll put in here, I'll put on tonight before we go out, is that it'll, you know, on next week's segment, after you've had a chance to play around with it, that will say, well, let's now create things that you can use. You'll do some stuff this week, right? By the time you come to next week, now you're in a position where you can actually take this, and here's the cool part. Now you can take this and add it with other stuff like Canva and generate and make posts, generate and make flyers, generate and make images. Because you've now figured out who you're focused on. See, we could talk about the functionality of ChatGPT. I could take all night and talk about that. But for me, the most important piece of this is to help you understand where you're going and how you intend to get there. Let's get the destination, understand the destination, right? Because you need to understand that here's what I need to do to get, as far as the roadmap to get me to this destination. And once I understand the roadmap, then I know what I need to do as far as, am I renting a car? Am I using a bicycle? Am I walking? Do I need to get in a plane, a train, right? I can figure out the other components next, because I now understand the most important pieces, which is, okay, I'm focused on this target market. And now that I know this target market, now I can focus on leveraging this to tell me how I need to get that target market. And then I'm going to give you some additional AI tools to partner in addition with this to help you then focus on how you're going to go after that target market to bring them into your team and your business. And then you'll be able to start leveraging this and posting stuff on social media for those that are on social media. If you're not on social media, here's going to be some targets as far as how you're going to market this in regards to, and I would encourage someone that's not in the social media space to put in there in this chat to ask the question, I do not want to do network marketing on social media. What are some great ways that I could build this business through, so forth and so on? Again, once you know who you're talking to, who you're going after, who your target market is. Because if you don't know who your target market is, then you'll spend a lot of time, effort, and energy shooting all over the place, hoping you hit your target, but you don't even know what your target is. And that's why a lot of people in network marketing are stuck. They're stuck because they don't know where they're going. And the most important piece has to be the destination. We start with the destination, then we can figure out how to get there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, let me go to, I got 2 hands up. Let me go to Dan first. Dan, good to have you on, bud.
Hey, Cecil, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir, loud and clear. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, cool. Great job on the business plan. And that's a great place to start, especially, you know, with the goals of the group, mostly. But I wanted to share just a real-time example.
Please.
I drove to Pittsburgh yesterday, right, for the senior game. So I'm now in Pittsburgh. And you know, when you drive, I don't know about anybody else, but you know, you got a little windshield time, and I just start to think and brainstorm. And then when I get my other place, I typically, you know, forget what I had, you know, brainstormed. That was so brilliant and creative.
Yep.
So I was thinking about, and so I used this ChatGPT as an example. And so I was thinking about that saying from Nike, just do it.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking, you know, that always bothered me in a way because I know as an athlete, it's just not, you just can't just do it because we have this comfort zone in the way and, you know, we have resistance. And I read along the lines that there is a little technique to just do anything. And ChatGPT could be a great one is that first, you know, think about why I'm resisting just doing it because we just can't jump into it. And two, most importantly, think about our reward, right? Like, and the reward is you've just hired a personal assistant and saved yourself $50,000, right? I mean,
Yep.
literally. So I've had that thought, you know, and I said, you know, I send out, you know, monthly fitness principles in my newsletter, and I said, you know, I'd love to like write a blog on that, you know. And so I went into ChatGPT when I got to the hotel. I put in basically that thought. I said, I'm struggling. I want to be able to, you know, allow people to understand that it's not just do it, that we have our comfort zone, we have resistance, yada, yada. And so I put in maybe about 3 sentences like you described. I was very specific in terms of help me craft a blog. At the end of this session, I'm going to hit the send button and send out that blog. It generated it for me in about 3 minutes. You know, you'll get it because you're on my subscriber list.
Absolutely.
If you want to share it with anyone else,
For
you know,
sure.
they can see what I didn't put. I don't. I'm tired. I'm got races tomorrow. I don't feel very creative, but it allowed me to do that. So I'll send it. I'll hit the send button. You'll get it as a subscriber. But
Perfect.
that's one example of just being able to get something done and
Yep.
have it do the thinking for me. But more importantly, and I'll close with this, I had to come up with the problem.
Yes.
And I had to be very specific that this
Yes.
bothered me that we all just can't do it. Why is it that we resist just doing it? And I explained that, you know, a little bit of my, you know, what I have taught about comfort zones. So I didn't want to go on, but it's live. I mean, it's real. And it allowed me to get this post out without having to sit back and think too much about it.
Absolutely. And that is the whole point of this. Like the entire point of this technology is that all of us are busy. We're all busy. Like everyone here is busy. You have a lot going on. And sometimes, which I love what you just said, I'm just tired. Like you and Jamie, I know you're tired right now. You just finished doing like a marathon yourself, but for in a different way, right? So as for each person, there's different reasons why we're tired. We have so much that's going on. And this is going to really, like you said, it's like you just hired a new personal assistant. You just saved yourself $80,000. And the beauty is that now you can just do it just by leveraging that. So Dan, thank you for that great example. And I'll share it with the group. I definitely will. I appreciate you sharing. I'll pass it along for folks to see an example of what it looks like to have something of that level and that stature, you know, that stature that allows you to be able to leverage and take advantage. Appreciate that. Thanks for the share. Thank you. Let's go to Jamie. Jamie, you got your hand up? Jamie, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
There you go.
I was wondering if so you sent us the homework, but can I share what I just did?
Sure, please go ahead.
and Dan, of course, always one-ups me. I miss you, Dan. And Yvonne. But with your suggestion, I only wrote in as an African American female. No. I am an African American 60-year-old female entrepreneur who likes to use Facebook to help retired individuals create an additional stream of income to subsidize their retirement income. I am an ordained minister. How would you recommend me recruiting new representatives? It gives me literally 10 things.
Yep.
8 out of the 10 you've been teaching in our classes that we had pre-pandemic.
Yep.
Awesome. And then it gives us more. So then it tells me go to retirement. Number 10. Let's see. Oh, number 10. While Facebook is a valuable platform for recruitment, don't underestimate the power of offline networking. Attend local retirement focused events, senior centers, da. So I asked, what are local retirement focused events, senior and da. It gives me 6 more suggestions in Joliet, Illinois, and it gives me 6 more suggestions to use, including Eventbrite and Meetup.
Yep.
So I got excited. So what I'm saying is, this is so easy because I didn't even do it exactly like you told us.
Yep.
Because I was multitasking too.
Yep.
But it's so easy if we go with this map. You can't miss being an entrepreneur.
Listen,
it's too simple.
yeah, it's this is help. I want everyone to understand this. This is a game changer. And I want everyone to understand this is the difference, right? So the vast majority of people will talk about it, but they're not going to be about it. What I'm making each of you do right now is making you be about it. That's the difference. We could have done a session where I could have had everybody get on and just tell you about how to use this, and then you all to go on. But no. I'm like, nah, nope. I'm gonna give y'all some homework. That if you didn't finish doing the what we talked about earlier, I went ahead and sent it to you so you have it. I hope who to do what. I gave that to you, and then I gave you create your business plan. You got executive summary, company description, market analysis. If you're like, I don't know what any of this stuff is, where would you find that out? Okay, I think all of y'all know where you
in the chat.
Hey, that's AI.
right? Okay, all right. All right. So, because I it's there, right? So, what I want you to understand is it doesn't need to be very super detailed, but all you're gonna do is tell the chat, all right, for my executive summary, what you know what executive summary is. Here's blah 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 blah.
You know how much business plan software costs?
I know.
Tell them.
Y'all don't know. Trust me, as an entrepreneur for years that did business plans, listen, I would charge people thousands of dollars to do their business plan. Thousands. Right? So understand, this is, you all can now go through, make a basic business plan that gets you focused, helps you think about what you're doing in a strategy that you intend to do, as opposed to what 99% of network marketers do. And that is, most of them just wing it. The first thing I'm doing with you all with this to help you understand is, let's stop winging it. We're not going to wing it. We're going to stop winging it. We're going to set ourselves apart because, again, if I put the destination in my GPS, I know where I'm going. And we're going to make sure that everybody starts with the destination in your GPS. And then now it's easy to figure out, well, what am I going to post on social media and what am I going to say? Who am I targeting and how am I targeting them? It's a lot easier then because you know what you're doing and why you're doing it and for whom you're doing it for, right? We've given you that information. And And listen, I know this is going to sound crazy, but would you believe that the vast majority of network marketers never make a business plan? I know that sounds crazy, right? And for most of you, you're thinking, neither did I, right? Well, that's because the average network marketer doesn't view their business as a real business. Because you wouldn't start up a business that you spent hundreds of thousands of dollars or even millions of dollars out of your pocket for and not have a business plan, because you would be worried about losing your money. Because network marketing is so inexpensive, it's easy for us not to make the investment. But if you look at the very first thing I put in this chat, let's pull it up. Hold on. Oh, it won't let me right now. Shucks. I can't pull it up right now. All right. But anyways, if you look at the very first thing I put in that chat that I had, the very first thing I put in that chat, was what's the basic components of a business plan, so that you could see that. History, have a plan. No plan? No plan?
You in trouble.
Yeah. So most people fail to plan, so they plan to fail. So we're going to start with a plan. Remember, you're not doing all the work. You're just going to put some information in there, right? Get some general information in to get you started, get you focused so you can focus your efforts. And then now you can start asking ChatGPT questions like Jamie already did, asking questions. Well, who will I target? Who will I talk to? Where will I find them? Where do I go to get them? What do I say? What are some of their objections? What are some of their pain points? What you can now ask ChatGPT all these different things and fully prepare yourself to be able to execute, and execute effectively because of it. Game changer. Game changer. Game changer. All right. Any other questions before we close out? I know we ran over a little bit, but I want to make sure I got this off this first session. We gave folks a chance to really be able to understand what we're doing so you can leverage it. And for those that had technical difficulties, don't worry. I'll get with each of you individually. I want to make sure that folks are able to leverage this. We will not allow technical difficulties to stop us from taking advantage. That will not be the case. I refuse to let that be the case for anybody here. No. No one's going. No man or woman left behind. That's not, no one left behind. We're not leaving anybody behind. All right, we're gonna make sure all of us, as long as you want to stay on track and make it, we're gonna take you there. Any other questions? Make sure I get these questions answered. Don't be scared on me, y'all. Come on, any questions?
Can I get the recording?
Say again?
Can I get the recording?
Absolutely.
Thank
Everybody gets one. I got you. Go ahead, guy.
Well, I don't have a question, but I do want to bring you back on my show to talk. Right? So let's make an appointment to bring you back on my radio show, and I want you to talk about this. All right?
Happy to. My pleasure.
All right. Yeah, because my audience do ask about this a little bit, so this would be perfect. Okay.
My pleasure. I'd love to, bro. Anytime.
All
right. Yeah. Anyone else before we close out? I want to make sure everybody got it and was able to leverage it, was able to start typing stuff in. Anybody have any? I know that we had a couple of folks. I know that we had Margaret and Diane had some challenges, and I know Yvonne had some challenges. Anyone else have any challenges getting up and leveraging and utilizing it as you were kind of typing and putting the information in? Anybody else? Just so I know who may have had challenges to be able to address them. Everybody else was good?
Hey, Cecil, no challenges, but just kind of a trailing comment.
Sure.
You've emphasized it, but sometimes it helps just having it come from, just hearing it from someone else. I started using this in November of last year, and my first use of it, just to see, because we all have these shiny objects that come our way, and hacks, and I mean, we're just, the next big thing. And I thought about that, and I said, write me a poem, a Christmas poem. By the way, I did not send this. Write me a Christmas poem for my 4 beautiful daughters. And it came back with it. I had tears in my eyes.
Yes.
I literally did. I mean, it was so
Yes.
real and sincere. I did not send it
was
because it wasn't from my heart, although it expressed a lot of my feelings. So my comment is that when Cecil says, this is a game changer, being around in the technology world, since, punch cards, I can tell you, this is this is something, I can't even put it in words. I would ask GPT, how do I express how significant this is? Because I can just share, and just to reinforce what you said, and the purpose of your coaching session here is, this is something you really need to pay attention to. This is a big deal, and it will save you time, money, effort, sweat, tears, and it will put you ahead of everyone else that isn't using it, because the rest of the world is going to catch up. So you have a running start. Use it or lose it. I'll leave with that. Thank you, Cecil.
Thanks so much, Dan. I appreciate you so much for being on. I appreciate you. And it was funny. I made sure I said it to my wife, but I sent her a poem, and I made a poem, and because she was a little frustrated about something, so I wrote a little poem for her with ChatGPT's help. Added my things I wanted to talk about in the poem, and then said the poem said from Cecil and ChatGPT. And she got a good laugh out of it. It put a smile on her face. I thought it was, like you said, it was powerful. Like, I was like, my goodness. And then I also used it for, I had to do a offering appeal for my church. And I typically would go through and I would scour the internet for stories to find it, whatever. And so I just typed in some general things, again, more specific you are the better, about what the demographic that I was speaking to, the time frame, all that stuff. It created a full story. And I had people come to me and say, listen, we need you to do the offering appeal every week. And I was like, right? So I want everyone to understand this thing has limitless potential. And once you leverage this with other technology and you begin to collaborate, put technology together, because I know Dan can tell you about some other stuff he's doing that's remarkable with AI. I mean, I'm telling you right now, it will be a game changer. But here's the key. You have to start somewhere, right? So we're starting with ChatGPT to get you started. And then we're going to just keep on building on that. And it's just going to be phenomenal for you to now just be able to leverage this. So I hope this is helpful. Any other questions or comments? And I promise I'll close it out in the next 2 minutes. Any other comments or questions before we close out? Make sure everybody was able to leverage it. We're good? All right, let me go through real quick because I have to do a roll call just to make sure everybody's good. All right, Maria, thank you so much for joining on. How you doing, Maria? You there? Not sure if you're able to talk. I think you may be at work. But I just want to say thank you so much for getting on, Maria. Appreciate you. Bernita, just want to check in with you real quick. Thank you so much for getting on. Any questions before we close out for you, Bernita?
No, thank you very much.
All right, awesome. Elise, thank you so much. I know that you were in the car. Appreciate you so much. Any questions before we close out?
Hey, no, it's great. Thank you. Thank you so much for hosting, Cecil. Awesome.
Thank you so much, Elise. Appreciate you. Sharon, any questions before we close out?
No, not at this time.
I'm here. This is
Just
real.
Just want to say hi to everybody. No, I'm good. I was in my car, but I caught most of what you were saying.
beach.
I did miss the business
Who's
plan
at the beach?
of it, but I guess we can get caught up on that. Thank you.
I got you. I got you covered for sure. No problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yep. You're welcome.
Yeah, sorry. I guess for whatever reason the link didn't come through. So thank you so much. Glad you text. Maria, there you go.
Hi. Yes, I am at work, but that was absolutely phenomenal. And thank you so much for inviting me. I couldn't miss it. I'm listening, but can't really speak. So
thank you so much.
This is really, really great.
Awesome.
Good job. Great job. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thanks so much, Maria. Appreciate you being on. Thanks so much. Thank you. All right, let's go through who else. That was kind of funny about you being at the beach because you had that great beach background, Sharon. That was funny. Let's go to Loren. Loren, any questions?
Nope, I'm good. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Loren. Appreciate you. All right, let's go to Jamie. Jamie, any questions? Jamie's good. All right, maybe she can't come to the mic. Let's go to Yvonne. Yvonne, any questions?
Nope, but I just want to thank Sharon for jumping in for me earlier.
Yeah. She had your back. She had your back for sure.
You're welcome, my friend.
Yeah, that's my girlfriend, yes.
Awesome.
I'm good. Thank you. I will be doing this tomorrow. With
Oh,
the
yeah.
assignment I have with the Bible college. Okay.
I told you, right? I told you, you're gonna use this for your studies and everything. It's gonna be crazy. I'm telling you, it'll be game changer. All right, so Mark and Diane, I heard both of y'all kind of chiming in just now. Any comments or questions? I know you guys had some challenges, but any comments or questions?
Cecil, all I can say is thank you for Margaret and you. I couldn't make it without you.
Appreciate you so much, Diane. Appreciate you so much. Any questions from either of you? Y'all good?
We're good.
We're good.
We asked a great question about ACP and got some good answers.
Yes, we did.
Oh, you got in. Good. It's amazing. This thing is incredible. So good to hear. Good to hear. Awesome. Guy, how about you, bud? Any questions before we close out? Nope.
Okay. All right. For some reason I couldn't unmute, but no, I don't have any questions right now. So I'm just gonna get on this homework a little later. I do have to record my show for tomorrow, but other than that, yeah. But I'm gonna work on this. I'm just putting things in. I'm playing around with it.
That's right.
As you talk, I'm listening to you, but I'm playing with it at the same time.
Good.
Master this, you know.
Good.
This is great.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, I'm like a kid in candy store.
All week. That's gonna be all week for all y'all. I know that's what's gonna happen. All right. Any last comments or questions for you, Dan?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, man. Best of luck with the your upcoming competition, bro. Praying for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, folks. Be blessed, y'all. Take care. I appreciate you. Went a little bit later tonight, but I wanted to make sure we took some time. And like I said, anyone that had challenges, I will reach out to you individually to make sure we get you functioning fully so you can leverage this and really take full advantage of it. So with that being said, as I say every day, if you can dream with God, you can achieve it. So let's go out. Let's make our dreams our reality. Because you know what? You deserve it. Be blessed, y'all.
You deserve it. You deserve it.
Night, everyone.
Good night,
Everybody take
everybody.
care.
Thank
Hey,
you.
see you in the book club tomorrow, Cecil.
Yep, see you in the book club. Yep. Everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Have a blessed evening,
See you,
everyone.
Cecil.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So he sent it to us.